Hi, it's Bonnie, Experiments in Honesty. This is in response to the 5 questions video. By the way, I'm wearing a hat, obviously. I have a lot of hats. Well, not a ton, but, enough. And I really like hats. And in the winter, I pretty much wear a hat all the time because I get cold. So even indoors, I wear hats. So you might see some of them twice, but I try to keep, the repetitiveness to a minimum. Anyway, here are the 5 facts, and I wrote them down. Okay, number 1 is I am the daughter of a World War II veteran, and I'm also the granddaughter of a World War I veteran. I am also married to a Gulf War I veteran, and we were friends for over 9 years before we started dating. So what I have to say about that is that's one persistent Marine, Semper Fi. Okay, number 2 is, whoops, I lost it. What happened to my number 2? Oh, there we go. Okay, I have lived in LA, and when I say LA, I'm talking about a bunch of cities in Los Angeles: Santa Monica, Playa del Rey, Marina del Rey, West Hollywood, Hollywood, Reseda, Northridge, Granada Hills, Chatsworth, Studio City, and I may have left some others out. But in addition to having kind of lived all over LA, I have lived in San Francisco, Boulder, Colorado, and New York City. I've lived in LA, San Francisco, Boulder, and New York all in the last 3 years. Okay, that was random fact number 2. And by the way, I am loving New York City. What a fantastic place. I think LA is such a mean city, and while New York is tough, people are really nice. People have been very, very nice. I mean, even just people who hold the door open for you, when you're going in and out of a store. I mean, just nice. Anyway, okay, number 3, I collect Japanese cake molds, and unfortunately I don't have any to show you because they're all in storage in Los Angeles, but I'm hoping to get some here on my next trip back, and then bring some back in my luggage so that I can put them up on the walls and have something familiar and comforting around me. They're mostly pre-war, and I really like Japanese art and architecture, and I started collecting these. I saw one on a website and I just thought it was beautiful, and I bought it, and then I bought another one, and I'm not crazy collector, but I if I see one that's beautiful and I can afford it, I buy it, which is not all that often. The ones I like are pretty expensive, so it's rare that I find one that's well priced. I also collect art by friends I think are really talented, and that I can show you one of. I have a painting that, here, I'll take my laptop and go in there. Oh, you know what, I'll cut it in. I'll cut it in, okay. And I'll tell you guys the story later if you want to know about it. Okay, number 4. Oh, number 4 is really good. I am the, I have 9 brothers and sisters. Now, of those, and I'm the baby of that grouping of 9. Now, of those 9 brothers and sisters, I'm actually an only child. I am the only child of my mother and my father, and I never grew up with any of the others except for one, and it was only a few years that overlapped. And one of my sisters, I have never met her. She was given up for adoption because my mother was pretty much forced to give her up before she got married. She was young, and her family forced her to give up the baby for adoption. That's another long story. So I've never met her. Other members of my family have, but the doors kind of closed on that opportunity, so I have not met her and probably never will. So that was on my mother's side, obviously. Then on my father's side, I had a brother who was my father's only son, and he was killed in a tragic surfing accident while saving his only son. His only son survived, and I'd only met my brother twice. One of those times was at a recording studio where he was recording with his band, and the second time was at a bookstore that I owned in Santa Monica, where we were having a benefit performance, and he came and performed, and we were selling his album. So 2 times. Okay, and then there's another sister who is my brother's sibling, and I have only met her twice. And fortunately, she's in good health and doesn't plan to go surfing anytime soon. And I like her. I liked her when I met her the second time, which was just last year. I really, enjoyed talking to her, and kind of hope to get to talk to her more. She's a very interesting woman. Okay, so that's me and my odd family. And then the last one is that when I travel with all 3 of my laptops. I don't own any desktop computers anymore, and I only own laptops. And when I travel, I put them all in my carry-on bag, which is interesting to say the least when you go through the baggage screen. So that's it. Those are my fun 5 facts, and I will, or facts, little known facts, whatever it was. Anyway, list on the whichever direction that has the people that I'm sending this on to so that they can do theirs. Look forward to finding out more about you.